What's up, Knight fans? Welcome to another edition of Holding Court with Todd Dagenais, along with the coach. I'm Jeff Sharon. We're coming to you from the practice facility here in the venue that UCF just got done using as they prepare for a doubleheader with UAB Friday and Saturday this coming week. And UCF on the road this past week. So, Coach, let's take a look back at that split that you got on the road. We've talked before about just how ridiculously tough that road trip is for every sport, volleyball included, when you go up to East Carolina, then you bust all the way to Marshall, and you guys get a split out of it. It was tough, though, wasn't it?
It was. It's always a challenge. I mean, ECU and Marshall, like we said, they're better than what their record indicates.
Yeah.
And Marshall especially, we said, was like a tiger just kind of laying in the weeds waiting for the prey to come along. And it just so happened that we were the prey this weekend. And we a lot of adversity that we had to deal with, not the least of which was the travel, but everybody has to do that, and you just have to find a way to overcome that, and you just have to be a few points better. They came out, they played way better than what they played on any of the video that we had seen. I'm sure it was nice for them to be back home, and I think we probably helped them restore their confidence, and we give them credit for the win. We felt like we certainly didn't even come close to playing as well as what we're capable of playing, and yet we lost by 2 in 2 different sets. And so, we got to give them credit. They got it done at home, and good thing is somewhere down the road we'll get another crack at them here at our place, and hopefully we can turn the tables back on them. But I think the theme of the weekend for us was really dealing with adversity, and that sprained ankle to Kayla Keller. 10 minutes. This was the last 10 minutes of practice on Thursday night up there at Marshall, and we really didn't have any time to put a new lineup on the floor. We just went out there and just tried to handle it the best we could, and I'm sure that we wish we would have handled it a little bit better. So now we have to overcome that adversity heading in, as we'll talk about a little bit later. And it looks to me like right now we're just going to have to shake things up a little bit in the lineup. And the question is, which athletes do we play in different spots? Is it time to bring Lauren Corey off a red shirt, put her in at left side? Does Tori McCutcheon come out of the middle? Does Delana Sarden come out of the middle and go into a hitter position? So we're trying out a bunch of different things right now, but it looks like it's going to be a dramatically different lineup, I think, than what teams have seen so far up to this point.
One of the bright spots that we saw this weekend was how well Delana Sarden played, and we've just seen her trajectory move up throughout the entire throughout the season. Initially, we weren't really sure what we would get from her, but now I thought that this weekend she played extraordinarily well, considering the circumstances.
Yeah, absolutely. None of this affects her in her position. I think the connection between her and Rachel has been really solidified, and Rachel's really comfortable with her, even on not perfect passes. And there's still little things that we're adding to her game to give her even more opportunities to swing at the ball. But for 2 matches, she was our leading killer. And in 4 years here, we've never had a middle be our leading attacker. As we were always the team that didn't set the middle, that only set the outsides. But I think that obviously has changed significantly. And, so that's the question. Do you move somebody like that out of the middle? And we think we may have to do that just to get her more swings in a different position maybe.
Now, Rachel Luxon, like we talked about, there's a very good feature by Eric DeSalvo on UCFathletics.com, which we encourage you to check out. She had another excellent weekend and showed a little bit more of her repertoire, where she had, I believe, was a career high in digs this past week.
Yeah, she did. She's really starting to stabilize in the backcourt, and that's always been the knock on her, and she knows it. Is that she's not a great defensive player. Well, she's turned out to be a pretty good defensive player. She works hard at it, and it's always nice when an athlete identifies the thing that they're weak at and just really works hard on it. And so I give her a lot of credit for for going out there every day and working on her defensive side of her game.
So this week, back home for 2 against UAB. Friday night at 7 p.m. here in the venue, Dig for the Cure night. And then also, again, Saturday at 4 p.m. UCF against UAB. And we talked about the standings before we went on, but again, it's starting to shape up again, just like every other year it is with Conference USA. You have Tulsa and UAB now at the top, undefeated in the league, and a whole bunch of people at 3-2, including UCF. So how big of a dent can we put into that whole system with a couple of wins this weekend?
Well, I think you get excited. You've got the team that's number 1 in the league right now back at your place for 2 matches. I think it gives us a great opportunity to try to create a little bit of separation from the pack that we find ourselves in right now, all at 3-2. And I guess if you're going to do it, you've got to do it against the top teams, really. I mean, if you're going to do anything significant, you have to do it against the top teams. And that we have an opportunity to do that this weekend. This is as tough of a UAB team as we've seen probably since they won the conference championship a little ways back, and very well balanced, running a 6-2 offense that's very potent. Great blocking team, probably almost double the blocks that we have right now. Mm-hmm. So very, very formidable opponent. And, we're trying to put some things in practice here that can hopefully slow that down. But, I mean, really right now where we are and with what we're going through, we just have to worry about us at this point. Yeah. We really have to get our own lineup solidified really before we can work on anybody else. And so right now we've got a great team coming in and we get our side organized, and then we'll have an opportunity hopefully to try and take down one of the top teams in the league.
Yeah, and it's a little bit unusual, I think, with this doubleheader against, not really a doubleheader, obviously not playing on the same day, but playing them at night and then playing them the following afternoon. How much more of a chess match is it when you just saw them the night before?
Yeah, I think normally it's a chess match. I think when two teams are really secure with their lineups and they know exactly what they have and exactly what they want to do, then it becomes all chess match. I don't know if this is going to be a chess match as much as we're really working on our side of the net. We're just going to try and find ways to get all the moving cylinders back going again. We're back where we were hitting 260, 270, 280. We do those kinds of things, and really the result seems to take care of itself. And so, I mean, right now where we are and with what we're dealing with, I think we have to really concentrate more on us. And then once it's game day, then we'll see if we can find a few ways to slow UAB down.
All right, so it should be a very fun weekend with UCF coming up against UAB in 2 straight. Now, as we take a look at the broader national picture, not much news happening in terms of the top 5 and really the top 6 or 7. Illinois still at number 1, still undefeated. Texas lost. They're 9-4. What were some of the things that you saw this weekend that kind of caught your eye in the national picture?
Yeah, I think it's just a lot of stability. The top 10 teams are really trying to isolate themselves from the rest of the country. We're still trying to figure out how good Penn State's going to be yet. Mm-hmm. I think they're working in those freshmen and those young players. And again, that's a team that is going to be there in November. Illinois, it'll be interesting to see if they continue to improve, and I think certainly they will. And maybe it's the Big Ten's year. Maybe it's the Big Ten's year to. It's funny I say that because Penn State is 4-time running, but maybe it's the Big Ten's year to get more than one team in the Final Four, maybe 2. Maybe 2 Big Ten, 2 Pac-10. Who knows? But you got Stanford out there. Cal still dealing with their injury situation. I think you can see there what happens when you lose such a primary part of your offense. Yep. And SC is resurging, and UCLA is still really good. So there's a lot of good Western teams that could fill out the Final Four when all is said and done. But it might be the year where the Big Ten actually gets 2 in. And if so, it'd be deserving.
Yeah, so we'll be keeping an eye on that as we go along. Last thing I want to talk to you about, obviously, the Friday night match is going to be Dig for the Cure. And it's a promotion that we've done here at UCF, I think, since you've gotten here. Tell me more about that. What makes it so important?
Well, I think, we all have people that have been touched by breast cancer. And I think the awareness of breast cancer and the things that can be done to help prevent it and the tests and the mammograms and all those things, I think it's just really important that everybody is aware of that. And if we can do a little something in sport, you see it in all sports all across sport. Just watching Monday Night Football and seeing the amount of pink, I think that's amazing. And so hopefully we've got a big pink weekend here at UCF between volleyball and soccer and football. There's a lot going on. And hopefully people come out and support that cause. That's something that we all, obviously it's touched a lot of our lives, my family included. So I think...
My family as well.
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of people whose families and friends that it touched. And so we want the people to come out and really support this, enjoy some great volleyball, some great soccer, some football, and it'd be a great weekend at UCF. And we just want the people to come out and support our efforts to dig for the cure.
Yeah, it's going to be very important. Like we said, Friday at 7 o'clock, come on out to the venue for Dig for the Cure, and then come on back the following afternoon at 4 o'clock for UCF against UAB once again. So, Coach, big weekend coming up. Best of luck, and we'll catch you again next time around, next week, once the 2 in a row against UAB is in the bag.
We'll see you then. Thank you.
All right, Coach, thanks again, and thank you for tuning in. This has been Holding Court with Todd Dagenais. We'll catch you again next week.